I'm a parent with a difference. I have influence to light my world. I believe I can change my world. I believe I can flip things around. Right? I believe I can change my world. I believe I can fix it around. Right? I'm a parent. Okay, is that correct? Yeah. Okay, it's called a universal song. I think this is one of the universal songs I've gotten. We can split it to I'm a student. We can flip it to I'm a teacher. We can flip it to I'm a woman. Do you understand? Yeah. So that's why I think I was trying to look for a kind of title for the song. I couldn't get something fit in, so I just called it the universal song because it can be used for different things. Okay, so are we ready now, parents? Yes. That energy is low. Are we ready? Yes. Yes, it's stronger. Are we ready? Yes. Okay, great. So, who is flipping it back? Can you take us back to the song? Who is trying to from singing the song? Okay. So don't worry, even if your voice is not very smooth, we'll cover you up. Okay, let's go. 1, 2, sing! Come on now. I'm a parent. Parent with a difference. I have influence. I have influence. Like my world. To like my world. So let's go now. I'm a parent. Come on now, come on now. Parent with a difference. I have influence. Let's remember, come on now. I have influence. To like my world. To like my world. I believe. You guys are wonderful. I can change my world. I believe. I can bring things around. I can change my world. I believe. I can flip things around. I can flip things around. Hold up. I'm a parent. I think this is the choir here. Okay, so we'll do this song at the end of the song. So let's begin. Let's start. Let's start this. Okay, so we're here to talk about how to get like a mitigation measure for handling conflicts with our children or our teens. These are actually very, very profound ways that, and some of them will be applied to even where you work. Some of us are like heads in departments, you have family members you have issues with. So some of the things we'll be sharing can actually serve as a measure to handle these issues. So we're going to look at why conflicts, this kind of conflicts, what you must not do going forward. So, and then what we must do to enhance transcendental generational wellness. So let's move on. Next slide, please. Okay, so why the conflicts? There are two basic reasons why we have conflicts with our kids. The first one is biological, and we've been seeing that as we progress. The second one is actually connected to environmental and societal issues, because everything is actually changing. It's not like those days where your parents just tell you, sit there. Children really have their opinion. You might say the thing of the West, but whether you like it or not, it has come to stay. You have to listen to them. You have to understand their world. So biological research reveals that an undeveloped frontal cortex in teenagers can lead to some things: increased impulsivity, risk-taking,
poor judgment. That's why you see in some clients, when the child commits an offense and it's within the range of some certain age, the child is left to go. It's like this child is not yet there to make this kind of decisions. So when the prefrontal cortex is undeveloped, the child has tendency to do some things. They ask him, why is this thing doing this kind of thing? It's like, so the prefrontal cortex is actually a part of the brain which is responsible for executive functions like decision making, making impulse and impulse control. So this part of the brain, one thing is, it doesn't get developed until the child is in the early 20s. So you should expect the child to have some irrational behavior within this range. But if you don't have this knowledge, you'll be thinking the child is normal. The child relies on some other parts. In fact, the child relies more on the center of his or her emotions to make decisions. That's why you see your things want to do some things. You're like, why is this child? Is this child not listening to what I'm saying? No, it's not the child is not listening. It's just how the child is wired for that stage in life. And then the child grows and you're like, oh, my child is becoming more reasonable. It's not so. It's just that the prefrontal cortex has gained time now to mature fully. So next slide, please. So 20s. So I just said, what this implies is that this brain imbalance can make our teens more likely to prioritize immediate rewards over long-term consequences. They don't look at the consequences. Now let me give us a rare case. Some youths were in the car and they saw a woman and the daughter standing. They had a gun with them. And one of them told a friend that you cannot kill that girl. And the guy said, I can't. I mean, these are perfect strangers. Oh. Do you know that they drove the car past and this guy gunned down that girl to prove to the friend that he could do it? Now, when they were arrested and taken to the police, he was in the courtroom and was laughing. You might think it's extreme wickedness, but this part of it. They rely on their teens. Okay. Now let me just talk about this. They rely more on the amygdala, the other's emotion center, instead of the prefrontal cortex. So the amygdala is more of, it has amygdala. It's more of an emotional thing. It stimulates amygdala. It stimulates the emotions. It makes a child to do things emotionally, not actually doing things from the point of reasoning. So this is what the child relies on when the child is in his or her things. So next slide. So don't be surprised when you see poor judgment, increase the risk taking, like what that guy did. Impulsivity. You just want to do things. Focus on the present. For instance, that child wasn't thinking of the consequence of what he was going to do. He just want to gratify what the friend asked for at that moment. Doesn't know that and of course that guy, the judge, because he wasn't sober, sentenced him to die in prison. He was like, in his mind, it's like, I'm not yet 20, so I'm within my teens. I can get away with this, even though I killed someone's daughter. But he was in prison, right? So, and then of course, reliance on peers. Can you imagine? It was peer pressure that made him to do that. So, reliance on peers. Now, there's also the environmental and societal issues. Of course, we know that our youths today, our teens, are lost in an emotional sea. It's everywhere. People watch things. In fact, these issues are amped up today by social media. It's so heightened, Of course, 95% of teens, if you look at research, are constantly using the internet. Of course, 63% of the world today is on social media. That's huge. I mean, 63% of what 9.something billion is not peanuts. And then 95% of things are on the social media, And social media is sometimes can be so fake. For instance, we finish a church and someone stands by my car at my age and snaps and just writes on that God is good. Now, she has a friend who is still struggling to get a job. Now, it's my car. She stood by to snap. Do you know that can create a kind of a reverberation effect on the other person saying, God has been good to my friend though. Whereas the person doesn't have a car, the person just stood by my car. So this environmental and societal factors affect our children, and we must look at this from these angles and try to give these children a break. So there are diverse kind of conflicts. Number one is identity conflict. We have career conflict, conflict about friendship, conflict about sex, conflict about studies, conflict about the domestic issues, conflict about money, conflict about their country, where they live, their economy. And of course, this I had to highlight this, the future spouse. We know some people get married in their teens. I hope we're well done. Yeah, so you can also figure that in this place. So what not to do as parents? Now take me back a bit. Let me speak on some of those. Identity conflict is a major, dear parents. Identity conflict. In fact, I think in the world today we have more of identity crisis than any other crisis. Most children do not know who they are. That's the truth. And one of the things you can do, one of the best things you can do as a parent is to help your child navigate. You see, one of the days where at some point in my life, I had to travel home to tell my father to tell me some things about his life. I'm going to talk about that today. I have to tell me, can you tell me your story? Where are you coming from? Because there's this huge gap. Maybe you're fortunate to have parents who may, but I'm close to 50 and the kind of parents we had is as a child, yes, very disciplined parents and all that, but beyond that, there's hardly very intimate conversation, except when you want to be corrected. Maybe when you do something wrong during the day, they won't beat you in the afternoon. How many of you understand what I'm saying? So they beat you in the afternoon, what happens? Mama lie there, we're rushing and say, stop now, it's okay. So normally they beat it in the night. Yes. And you will eat, nobody's going to, they will not touch you. But in the night, usually like it's 100. My mom will come and wake me, and now you just recall that there was something you did during the day. And as you're walking out there sitting, they will tell you what you did. And then my dad will get the cake. At that time, Mama Lide is sleeping. So they will do a thorough work on you. Like tomorrow morning, my dad will tell you, bury that hatchet. I don't want to see it again. It had its a way, but it wasn't all in place. Because sometimes I ask myself, how is my parents? You need to read what some things put on the internet about their parents. So identity conflict, you have to help the child to know who he or she is. How are they calibrated? We should spend a lot of time observing. This you can do. I also extend it to teachers in school. I do that a lot. I'm actually weary when I come for open day. I just tell me, just give my child notes to look through the performance. A child's life is more than what the child does with pages of books. Yes. I want the teacher to tell me these are the tendencies your child has. And I think if you can help this child move in this direction, this child will do better. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, because it can be very important. Just bring children to school, it's a subject, it's a timing, but they have different graphs in their lives. You have to help them to find that child. Career conflict, you know that. You know that. A boy finished graduating, wearing all smiles, all butterflies, and when he got his certificate, he went to the dad. He said, Dad, I'm done with what you asked me to do. Can I now proceed with what I want to do with my life? And guess what he was asked to study? Medicine. Conflict about friendship, you say you don't like this child, this friend. Conflict about sex. I'll be talking about this the final part, but I only want to hammer on that. I want to talk about fidelity. That's something must have my kids with. Then conflict about domestic issues. I think I should hammer on that and move on to other things. Domestic issues. You have a house, maybe you're fortunate to have boys and girls, and then only the girls do the chores. A conflict, right? You see, some conflicts are subliminal. It will not show up, but in the heart of the child has, how many of you allow your children your males to do chores in the house? Oh, beautiful. This is your parents, they deserve award. Right? I can cook anything. My wife works with a law school, and most often than not, she's away during the week, but she has an accommodation there. I do all the chores, I do all the cooking. I cook almost daily for my kid, every day. And yesterday when she was coming, I had cooked food. I can pound yam. I didn't have seat because of the way I was trained. So, okay, so I think talking about future spouse, we'll come to that. Okay, let's move on. So, what not to do as parents? Please do not use punitive measures to handle conflict, because there will be this conflict. Research has revealed that it doesn't work. You don't address a conflict by threatening a consequence or by implementing a consequence. So I want to say emphatically, stop making your teams pay for every glitch in their character or performance. So we're going to do something together responsibly. Right? Okay, let's go. So I'm going to read the first one, you read the second one. So, when you don't like their attitude, say something. Not happy with their grades. They didn't do the chores. Alright, it doesn't work. You're breathing anger. I watched the video. No, this is not this like extreme. Children become so used to the internet once they are cut off. If you see the kind of rash behavior, some of them scattered the televisions, everything in the house because they were cut off from internet. Now that's extreme actually. We're not saying that our kids should be overly exposed to the internet or tablets, but we know today these things are up to stay. See, I don't care how much you pretend about it. You might be forcing that child outside your circumference if you don't allow them to interact with things. I walked into a shop to buy something. This child is about 5'6". She just, as she walked in from school, she greeted the mom. She said, "Mom, your hair is very fine." She said, "Mom, you don't bring my phone?" Because Friday is like the day. The mom said, "Yes." If you see how this girl screamed and jumped, so I asked the mom, she said yes, that she allows her to use the phone within a range of time to watch cartoons on Fridays. Now imagine just amputating that child completely from that sphere. You're going to have issues because it has come to stay. What we can do is to see how these children can use these things in the proper way by educating them on what to do. So next, so it doesn't work. This approach confuses motivation with manipulation and consequences with what? Punishment. So, and the approach aims at perfectionism. How many of you are perfect? Let me see your hand up. We're not perfect. I mean, trying to be perfect is like an illusion. It's a huge small screen. And remember, just double back to your age. When you were at your age. I mean, sometimes there's so much demand on them, we forget that. It doesn't happen to me. So sometimes I expect so much from my girl that it's not even a teen. I feel like, so I just carry it on. Please, slow down. Slow down. I mean, at this age, look at just double back. At your age at 10, you couldn't even achieve some of this people. So we have to watch out for that. And then I said, if we continue along this path, there's going to be a performance drama in our homes. Driven by what? Fear, not inward motivation. And this breeds things with low self-esteem. A girl scores all A's and feels that the dad still not satisfied because he's never satisfied. A young man was trying to score all A's in his college days, never got it. Then when he got into the university, he scored all A's in a particular semester and reached out to the phone and called the dad and said, "Dad, guess what? I just had all A's." And the dad said, "And so what?" He said, "You have to do more." And hung up the phone. Do you want to hear what happened to this child? He slipped into depression and killed himself. Because he felt that there was nothing he could do to please that dad. So, because I said perfection is actually a religion, it's a smokescreen. Right? It is. That's why I'm a Christian. We believe more in the perfection of Jesus' perfection, because we can't reach that height. There's nobody that can reach that height. There's nobody that is sinless. So that's just wrong. We stay under that cup. So what must we do as parents? Dear parents, your teens are also facing their life challenges. Say yes. Yes. You are hard. Thank you very much, sir. Let's go for this man. I know you had a long day. You also had a long day. They had a long day with Mrs. Nosumu. They had a long day with the teachers here, with Mrs. Kelly. They had a long day with them. It's a long day going through school from 9 o'clock to 5. It's a long day. You know, it's a long day trying to, the biology teacher leaves, the physics teacher comes, and the chemistry teacher comes, and then they don't strengthen the test, and then maybe somebody offended the class, and the person is not revealed, and everyone was punished. That's a long day. Besides, they've not seen it the whole day. And maybe they have young girls they're also taken care of. That's a long day. So they also had a very long day. And I want to say that we are all in the same sphere called the earth. So whatever happens to you happens to them. I know we as parents are in the front line, but that doesn't make a soldier in the front line doesn't make me a less soldier, even if I'm behind, right? So we are all in this sphere called earth. And the earth is not actually programmed to favor anyone. If you want to ask me, throw a stone upwards, it has to be acted upon by gravity to come down. So every progress you want to make is like you want to meet an opposition. That's what the earth is for. So we have to understand that we are all in the same sphere, though at different phases. So we must understand that our teams are all going to tremendous pressure to get it right. This for girls, actually, statistics reveals that 2 out of 5 girls will experience significant anxiety. And 1/3 of them will experience what? Depression. You know? Girls have mood swings. I chose the girls because you know, when a girl gets into the range of pain, girl has, you get to see things like a period, right? And painful, and this things affect. So, okay, let's move on. So 5 rock solid ways. Number 1, start early. You see, if you don't train a child, you will end up taming that child. And training is cheaper than taming. When the child becomes wild, it becomes very, very difficult. So you have to start early. So there has to be from the get-go approach. Otherwise, your children are going to experience a huge jump when they get into the teen bracket. You'll be shocked. You'll be shocked. So you have to start very, very early. And one of the best ways is by optics. You have to be a shining example. In as much as teens want to express themselves, they want to explore life, they badly need an example. Especially in this world, there's so much deterioration. And then who do they see almost all the time? You. And that's why you must choose a school like this. I'm not trying to amplify what this school does, but the serenity here is quite very, very huge. I can say that. Yeah, please clap if you want to. I've been to a school where the proprietor's child was a thorn in our flesh as trainers. We almost didn't reach our peak because of that child. When the child walks into the class, it disrupts everything, everywhere. Everywhere. I mean, very rude, very unruly. So I had to bring out my understand. I don't think children, I haven't done that. Usually adults, when the child gets the teen age, I prefer to talk. Because I know I can reason with that child. But sometimes the children will talk. But I don't. I rather pull your ears and talk to you. So you have to shine examples. Teens want to express themselves, they want to explore life, then you need a blazing example. Because optics, light travels faster than sound. Do you know that? Yes, because you know that light travels faster than sound. But the sound is so cute. I think average light travels at 330 meters per second of the sound. 330 meters per second, while light travels at about 300 meters per second. Can you see the gap? So what you say makes no sense. It's what they see that actually registers. Okay, next. So practice affirmation. There should be more affirmation and contemplation that's for people here in our house. Our homes should be spaces that look like safe heavens, not battlefields where you hear sound of whistles of bullets. You know, I'm very impulsive as parents. I do that too. Like, tell us not something like you want to correct it immediately. Very impulsive, you know. So there should be more information. Next, I said suiting proposition goes the wrong way. Don't be that parent that goes mute when the child achieves something very little. Right? You know, we can be mute when the child does like as simple as little as cleaning up his or her room and arranging things. You know, as little as cleaning up the dishes when he or she was instructed to. As little as sweeping the compound. I think we should give them bonuses. And so, and if we do that, if the affirmations are more than the condemnations, they will feel drawn to you, and it will not going to come. This is a story from my one. We had a quarrel, and it was really tough. It was getting to the room top, and the Reverend Minister had to step into the issue. So when the man was trying to counsel them, the husband and the wife said, just hold on, I want to show you something. It's not as easy as I said, Reverend. It's not as easy as you're saying. So he went and brought a pack of diaries. And those diaries were for 5 years there. For every day, there wasn't enough salt in it. He marked it, updated it. For every day, the water was not cold, or something. He marked it. So the Reverend was at work. He said, I want you to go through this diary so you can know how to advise my wife. So of course there were days, many of the days that were from the diary that were empty, but there were days you had to register that the soup was too peppery and he almost choked. There were days he felt that the wife didn't give him more attention and that there was a lot of jumps. So at some point the Reverend was like, I think with this first diary I'm through. The man said, no, you have to continue. So the man took his time for hours, went through the entire diary, and when it was done, the man said, now you can talk to us. So the Reverend asked one question. He said, sir, I observed that in this diary, there are many places you didn't tell anything. And he said, yes. He said, okay. The man said, what's the point? He said, the point is, I want to find out what happened those days that were blank. And he was spellbound. Started tearing up. Those blank spaces were more than the spaces he filled. Those blank spaces were days the wife got it right. But he never filled in that today, the soup was okay. Today, I had a beautiful hug. Today, on the 13th on the 1st of November, the soup was thoroughly wonderful. He left those spaces blank. But he filled in the spaces where he felt hot. And he never drew the woman's attention to it. So our homes should be filled with more of what? Affirmation. Yes, there are times we can talk to our kids and stuff. Yeah. So now welcome spontaneous change index. I'm going to know how to resolve issues here. You see, when your teen says, Mom, guess what? Statements like that, something happened today. That's an amazing opportunity. I know you're tired though. Maybe Colombia on an international call. The change just doesn't happen to us. Check us what to just very spontaneous. You're in the middle of something you're choked up, you're all worn out. The child just says, Mommy, there's something, and you're like, your face just. The expression alone can put that child off. So you have to be skilled enough to listen, and your body language should scream, yes, honey, talk to me. It's a skill, it's not overnight, it's not funny. Because pressure is pressure. That's the truth. Maybe you're about to finish, you want to strike again. You can just hear a gesture like, and then just tell the child, I'm here for you. Why? You see, why should you do that? Let's go on. If you do not welcome spontaneous check-ins, the teen feels he or she is not being heard, and that door you shut will be explored by who? Who knows if that dude is a wicked person? It should shock you when the child doesn't say you are his or her hero. It's a problem. You should be the child's hero. Work at becoming the child's hero. Work at it. It's very important. So, next slide. Become co-pilots. Now, this is the backbone of everything I'm talking about. Make a choice to stop molding your teens into your own expectation. I'm going to use her example. I listened to one of her speeches where she went to speak as Dr. Kosubu to a parent, and there was a remark she made that even after she left the medical spectrum and then got into the academic field and achieved so much, her dad still said he wished she still had a medical outfit. What medical outfit can be bigger than the school? No, tell me, is there any? Huh? Is there any medical outfit bigger than the school? The school houses all kind of people, right? Yes. I think I mentioned here at the point that the biggest factory in the world is the school. It's not the Boeing factory somewhere in America. It's the school, because from the school we produce all kinds of people in all spheres of life. So the school is the biggest factory in the world. So we should stop molding our teens, to fit into our own expectations. Your graph is not my graph. Every child is uniquely unique. The first one is not the last one. Even unhealthy comparisons is not good. Recently, I watched a clip on TikTok, and I was trying to explain how you can create demarcation between children. You pick up a little child, and the other one is on the ground. You don't know what's running in the mind of that one. The other one feels so I'm not good to be picked up. So if you cannot pick both of them, leave both of them where they are. All politics very, very dangerous. I will do that. How many of you felt here that your parents love somebody more than you love yourself? Or some of you are saints, man? Am I saying so? Are there some saints here like me? How many of you felt that mommy loved, or maybe if you don't raise your hand, like when I was loved? And that thing creates tension in the house. That's the truth. In the Bible, there was a case of two brothers, Esau and who? Jacob. The father loved who? Esau. The mother loved who? Why did the father love Esau? Because of pepper soup. Why did the mother love Jacob? Because he used to be around the house for domestic work. Those two guys nearly killed themselves. So it's wrong. One point should be shown. So we need to own these things together. That thing has a will, which is important to driving his or her life's will. Imposing your own will can serve as a clog in the wheel of his or her progress. Do you understand that statement? That child has everybody has a will. That's the truth. You might say, where is the little child? Child has a will. And that will is responsible for driving the will of that child's life. So if you impose your own will on the person's will, it's going to spell trouble. So I've had kids say, this is what I want to pursue as a career, but my parents want me to do what? ABC. So how do we handle this? We should be co-pilots. We co-pilot by what? Dialoguing. Most often than not, what we have is just a monologue, and that doesn't quite fit in. You must study it. You must become a lawyer. You must know it's not correct. We do these things without leaving the steering. So, am I saying that you just allow your children to choose whatever they like? No. I would say you just allow your children to choose what they want to become friends with. No, that's what I'm saying. We do this without leaving the steering wheel completely in their what? In their hands. Statements like, I think you will do well as a diplomat because I've seen some potentials in you. Does that sound polite? It's like you're suggesting something, right? Because you're a parent, you should be skilled to do this. Next. The level of empathy I see in you just gives you away to the medical field. Like maybe you go on a visit. It's actually a real pointer. You're not trying to woo that child towards her field or his field. So this kind of empathy. You get to the hospital, and your child is maybe you're dealing with someone you went to see, and the child is also considering someone is the next bed. That's a medical doctor, or someone in the medical field, or someone who could own an outfit, or maybe someone who could have a caregiver, anything connected to touching the human soul would be what that child's life is from around. Do you think you would make, don't you think you will make a good fine artist? Look at those amazing drawings of yours. Are you here? You're sowing seeds. Then I say, you must become this, you must be a musician. That's what is ready now. Go and buy a microphone. And then the child say, say yes, just continue, it will change. It's not going to change. So things that I do just come naturally to me. By God's grace, I'm a natural speaker, I play music, I'm just a teacher, I write. So it comes naturally to me. There are some things I get to do. I can't draw a straight line. I have very strong issues with direction. There are some people you take to a place as if they are thieves. Once they get there, that's all. Me, I did Google map several times to help me. Now, that kind of child is connected to geography. That kind of child be a pilot. Do you understand? Can easily navigate, understands what four cardinal points is. They can put on landmarks. I don't have that strength. I have to be there consistently to know. So I don't have to force myself. That's my region. Let me be left for those who can handle that. If I let me be left for Google Map. So you observe that your teams has inventive capabilities. Get a good movie, documentary on inventions, right? Allow your mind to soar. Recently, a young boy brought something to me after church service and said, "Sir, I invented it." I looked at it. It was so nice. And then the next time he came and said, "Sir, give me, I want to do something more." He collected it from me and changed it to something else. So I kept it in my car and I thought I'm going to look at it. So I forgot, very busy. One of those days I went to trash and refuse. And then my car, someone was inside my car. I checked the room. I carry someone in my car, I checked the boots everywhere. I got home. I got curious. I checked. So at some point as I was checking, that stuff I slipped under. It was a fan. So I wasn't paying attention to it. Someone just activated by itself. And I picked it. Fan from a carton. Very inventive. So that's an inventor. So we're putting up things on to make sure he goes to a technical school. Right? So that's how it works. Maybe the child knows music. Buy musical instrument and put it in the house. These approaches create a spark that will lead to very lovely results. Right? This is what I'm trying to pour something in there. Right? Okay. Okay, next. Now, let's read this together. 1 to go. If you want to experience less opposition, carry people along in whatever position you've decided to sell to them. Do you agree?
Yes.
Huh? See, listen, it's directors by my place of work. Before you go into meetings, sometimes you have to know me. Are you here? Even what you want to sell to people is good. You have to carry them along. Otherwise, some people will blatantly oppose it. People in our offices. It's a good idea, but I say, you think about just came here, wants to carry the glory. But you know when you tell them the highway, you say, yes, carry it. And sometimes you hear a wrong idea, they say, carry it, because you carry them along. So your child, if you don't want to have friction with your children, do what? Carry them along. Be co-pilots. It's their destiny. Yes, you are their parent, or you are just a caretaker. That's the truth. They have their lives to live. So this also works in other spaces. So I said, I just give you a tip now, right? So you can take it to your place of work. Next, practice the art of hanging out. Do it regularly. Hang out. You see, when we hang out, parents take away their monitor hats. You know. And when you're hanging out, please don't make it too formal. Discuss about life. About life. So you observe that your children are. One of the reasons why we have conflicts, we don't even talk, we don't discuss, we don't gist. I do dishes about my kid, you know. We're doing dishes, frying, she's cutting the pepper, and she starts telling me things. What she won't tell me naturally, you know. So she starts telling me, Daddy, Daddy. So that's connection point. So hang out with the children. It mustn't be you go to an eatery or anywhere. You can hang out around the house. You can take a walk, right? It's not a sin. It's not a sin. You're not demeaning yourself. You're not demeaning yourself. That's what makes people call their parents great dad, great mom. These are the simple things they do with them. They'll be open. So I said during hangouts, parents and teens can connect without the formal expectations which step out of the normal routines. Do you understand? It's very important. So talking points should be what? Formal. Leave books alone now. Talk about life. We tell the story. Next. Okay, practice space shift. Dear parents, get to get into your teen spaces. See, if I'm friends with you, if we are friends, man, friction reduces. True of us. So get to get into your talk, play, sing together, jump together, cook together, laugh, play together, tell a story. Tell the story of your life. Next, let's talk about story. How many today want to go? That's the part 9. I want to talk the book Life's Divine. And storytelling is so nice. Reading books, fine. Watching, not too good. Because when you're watching a story, the images are already printed for you, right? So your brain does less activity. But if I'm telling you a story, you can't imagine how I was a small child going to the farm without shoes. You know, you're painting the imagination for yourself, right? Are you here? Yes. So it also helps the children to create their own mind, their own activity in their minds. So telling the story is very, very important. And then connecting life stories. Final takeaways. The rational wellness is related to helping your children win in all aspects of life. This is very important. Life isn't a one-way traffic. Our teens should be taught not just to win in school, but what? Yeah. Because 99% of what wants in school. Where are your books? What are you doing today in school? Did you come? You know, life is bigger than school. School is a school, but life is a bigger school. School is a subset of life. So grades in school are great, but life also has grades. And ultimately, passing just on the pages of books grossly inadequate. Do you understand that? There are people who pass just on the pages of what? Books, but fail on the pages of life. I'm a student. Oh, but life is more than that. We all know that at our age, we know. Life is bigger than that. So even more with training students, we'll try to tell them, look, be nice to your colleagues. It's not about you just getting A's. You could get that guy to get his own C, and that guy will become the CEO of another company that you that had the A's will come to apply to. But because you created a connection to have him get that C, that's why you will get into that position in the first place today. So you won't forget it. So stop being like protective of your notes and everything as if the A is just the only thing about life. That A was just a despair of life, all school. Huh? Are you here? Yes. See, I'll tell you the story. It's very, very drastic. We go to the university and then he had to rewrite JAM just to get medicine. Now I'm studying physics. One day in the room, he told me that in the future that he will eat whatever he wants to eat. That shook me to my foundation. He said I will eat, that he wants to eat chicken, he will eat. And he didn't, this was what he made, and I knew he was the for. The direction was that medical doctors are well paid, right? Are you following what I'm saying? Now, years passed by. I finished from school, master's, like PhD. And my friend, this guy had so much prowess for calculation. You know, he kept trying to write his consultancy exam. He kept writing it till he died. And at some point, he was asking me for money. I had to send him money. There was a day he arrived at Abuja. He was coming from the far west. So the vehicle carried very late. So it was that day. Now, this guy was a nice chap. I mean, in my first degree project work, I actually appreciated him because he actually had to sharpen the mathematical problem. He was supposed to be a mathematical person. Maybe he got building as a course, but he rejected it. He would have done well in building. Okay, so I remember the things he did for me. That day, when he arrived, I was off of my very cab. I went to help him carry his things. It was raining, but I was happy doing it because I was like paying back. But that's the way he made in the room that day. In the future, when after time had passed, he was the one asking me for help. I built my house, I married, and when he was still struggling to get his consultant. So teach your teens now. Integrity, very important. Integrity means what you are when no one is watching. This is currency. In fact, you can start a multi-billion-dollar business with zero kobo if you have integrity. It's very scarce. It's a scarce commodity. We're talking about generational wellness now. Things like transcendental wellness. Something that can speak for your child anywhere, even after you're gone. Integrity is key. You must teach them. Now, I want to harp on the issue of fidelity. Earlier on we talked about conflict when it comes to sex. Children are exposed to all kinds of things today on social media. And like I just mentioned, they are very, very impulsive. right? Yeah, the impulsivity rate is huge. What does that mean? They want to try out anything, including sex. Just try it out. So we must teach them fidelity. And one of the analogies I want to give is the analogy of the eagle bird. I hope you know what fidelity means. To be chaste, to keep themselves pure. It's very important. You have to teach them that. The eagle bird is one of the birds that is so fidel. The eagle has one mate for life. One mate. Such a remarkable bird. And you see, when it comes to the female eagle, lowering her guards down for the male eagle to mate her is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Let me show you what happens. Because eagles mate for life, if a male eagle shows interest in a female eagle, he has to prove his worth. He has to prove his worth of integrity. He has to show that he has grit. He has to show that he has resilience, and of course this trait that has to be there. Now, what does the female eagle do? Listen to me. When this male eagle is aggressive and like is coming around the female eagle, okay, the female eagle say you've chosen me among all the female eagles, so prove your worth. The female eagle will go and get what we call a twig. A twig is a very, very tight part of the tree. And then just flies away. The male eagle knows it can speak the twig, so the male eagle starts searching for it. The female eagle will now go to a particular height and just carelessly throw away the twig. Now this twig is going to be under the influence of the wind, of all kinds of things. The male eagle must get that twig, it must not touch the ground. If it lands on the ground, that's the end of my relationship. It's goodbye forever. No, it's goodbye. Now, when the male eagle picks the twig, he will look for the female eagle and bring it to her. Then she will collect it again and start playing around. When she will throw it, she doesn't know. All of a sudden, she can just fly away and throw it off. The male eagle will start diving out. Anywhere that twig is, it must make it. And the female eagle will look at it, checking. If it falls, that's the end. Even the male eagle knows. It's not, if it falls, it's not man enough. That means it's not a provider, it's not a helper, it's not a keeper. Now, do you know for how long this female will do this? Close to 5 hours. I say, So you see why homes break today. I love you, and that's chemical reactions and all that, kissing, holding hands, sleeping, why do the home breaks? There's no truth. There's no price. I like the Hebrew guys where it's like annoying the guy class now. By the time they take you through some problem to pay the bride price, you will think 100 times waiting of the house. You will think well. Because they will accept what? So the female eagle does this for close to, and they will find if you do this till late in the night when you buy. When it's done, now they come over. Because you know why? It wants to preserve her generations. We know the eaglets are very lazy when they're in the nest. Of course, the female they make their nest up there very high, free from predators and what have you. Because they don't give birth to too many. They are very rare birds. And then, of course, the nest is made up of a lot of nice things. But before the nice things come on the nest, a lot of thorns and under it and what have you, just for the future. So thorns and things that are very rough are placed under them. You put a nice cotton, nice leaves on it, and then the baby eaglet is born, very happy. The mother eagle goes out, the male eagle comes in, feeds it, it gaps his mouth, eats, happy. Oh, mommy is nice. Then one day, somebody say one day. But my eagle sees that the kind of hunting she does can no longer feed the whole house. So these guys have to now start training. Comes that thing, changes the countenance, and we're like, what? And there's no food. It starts beating on the nest. Why? You have to go out. Now the wings are not fully developed, but the mother eagle knows this is the stage to start exercising the wings. Long story cut short, pushes them up. Of course, starts with one. Pushes it off the nest. Who's going to go after it? The male. If you could pick a twig, that eaglet will not die. So the eagle, phone, blah, blah, blah. Mommy. Then you think, is this my mom? Want to kill me? As the ball to go dash on the stone, the mother even shoots on them. Father even picks it up, brings it back to the nest. That's enough. It will do it for like 10 times for that day. Then it will tell others the story of his life. Well, maybe mommy likes me. Tomorrow morning they're coming for you. Because they won't be there forever, right? They're training them to become aerodynamic, to be able to fend for themselves. So we must teach our children grit. Hard work doesn't kill, it kills. We must teach them to be resilient. Time will fail us to talk about resilience today. Talk about resilience. How many of you know the story of Soichiro Honda? The story of Soichiro Honda. The Honda car you see. Soichiro Honda made these rings, motor rings, and took it to Toyota to buy. And they were like, we don't buy things like this. This is substandard. So he went ahead to study in school to learn, because he was gifted for auto mechanics. And came back to be employed by Toyota. Toyota said, sorry, we don't have a space for you. He said, this guy was up to something. Then he went ahead to build the first factory. The first factory was bombed. It was built at the time of that war. He was running the track war. So he got bombed. Then he went ahead and gathered some resources and built another factory that was destroyed by earthquake. Are you following what I'm saying? So left with nothing, he went back again to Toyota and asked them to please. That he's at his lowest ebb in life. Whatever you can give me, I will take. They said, we can't employ you here. Of course, they already said this guy has some potential, but that was what forced him to fire him. He went ahead to start coupling machines to bicycles. So for bicycles to pedal, right? So if I couple an engine to it, you don't need to pedal. You just need to just run, isn't it? Some people laughed at him, but after a while, he started getting grab, because I buy it. Now from that came the scooters. You know scooter? Vespa. That's how it came. And then today, the rest is history. We have Honda vehicles everywhere. That's someone's name. So you must teach your children to be resilient. They must know that life is full of more no's than yeses. Let me repeat that. Hello? Yeah, children, they might need to knock on. How many people how many do we have today? Can somebody check on the world for me? It's about 9.7 billion on the end today, right? So if I knock on one door and it's shut against me, why should I break down crying? I mean, 1/9 billion. I mean, if I let's suppose use 10 million, maybe has anybody approached 10 million people and didn't get help? But why do we stop at number 1 or number 10? What's wrong with us? So tell your children to expect more no's than yeses in life. You have to be resilient. And then this last one about industry is very, very important. The children must be trained to be both employable and what? Deployable. When you don't have an employment, what should you do? Deploy yourself. In fact, education, that's why I thank God for the TV that's come to this school now. I want to stand up for that. It's a very huge, in fact, that's the kind of school I want to run. That's what they're doing. Where you can marry theory with what? Experiment. So you have to teach your children to be employable. When you don't have a job, deploy yourself. In fact, the white collar jobs are gone. The country that has the most billionaires in the world is which country? United States of America, right? Yes. They have about 900 billionaires. They are the highest. The next to them is not even China. I think it's Britain or Japan or so, with just 500 billionaires. Now, when we talk about millionaires in the US, we have about 22 million millionaires in the US. 22 million. Our population in Nigeria is 250 or 230 million. That means 1/10 of our population are millionaires. Not in Naira. You know, if this is a millionaire, you must have $1 million dollars. Convert to Naira, that's how in billions. Why? They are producers. Their productivity index is very high. We are more consumers here.
So we must train our children to productize themselves. It's very important. Tell them what you can do to resources. You must teach your children how to sell. Hello? Hello? What I was saying, neighbor? What I said, neighbor? You don't sell. You'll be sold. The biggest millionaires in the world are not civil servants. They are traders. That is a trader. Are you here?
Yes, sir.
If you don't want to see him, sell. You know what I said? I said to the guy, don't buy. It's part of it. When I wrote 2 books, I have books also. I have books on Amazon. Ladder of Success and Stories by Grandpa. Learn how to sell. I have an industry. We are working on the days of things. So you have to be industrious. Otherwise, you steal. If all that comes into your account every month is your salary, you're being very bad. You're in a negative spectrum. Because if I have just a full water of tank and water keeps going out one way, what happens? No matter how much tank I have, water is going to drain out. So teach your children to get education right. And love and empathy is a last one. Teach them a give back mentality. When God has blessed you, you have resources. Let them have it out. We don't do that here. We see how the Kennedy Foundation today, right? How about Kennedy? Kennedy was one of the billionaires of early times, industrial, the steel revolution and all that. He still has scholarships still running today. He is gone, but his legacy lives on. But see, I'm not sorry for saying this. I'm not on camera. The average Nigerian doesn't think give back. It's just take. That's not how life works. True living is in giving. There's a joy you get from it. Establish scholarship schemes, right? Establish this to learn just a little. What someone did is just a little hand to get to the next level in life. Be that hand to them. Don't expect anything back from them. Because there's something called karma. Whatever you do, it's not business. There's a way. You know, what comes around goes around. You're going to get yours. Sometimes when you're long gone, some of us here, what you're enjoying is what your parents did. And some of us, what you're passing is what your parents did. That's the truth. So let's have children that can love, that empathize. It's very, that makes society better. Right? So I think, how would that be? Okay, thank you for listening. Two questions, please. If you have a song, if you have a question, sing that song, you mean from your heart. So questions, please. Yes, done? Oh, beautiful, no question. So that means I talk very well. So I'm bowing out. Okay, well, this one is 1 cents, 1,000. Yeah. Question? The book? So she wants to buy. Can you see now? So, wait, let me say, so she wants to buy. So, tell your children, sell something. Tell something. You can, and let me say this. Listen, a product is not just a book like this, or rice and beans. Whatever you do that makes someone's life better, whatever you do that makes someone's life comfortable, is a product. You understand? You could be washing the next door neighbor's cars in the morning. Sounds strange. You have any child in university? Anybody here? Children in university? Anybody? Okay, they are home now, right?
Yes.
They are home now. What are they doing? See, neighbors are under pressure. Someone can't even wash their clothes. Someone can't wash their clothes. Something a child starts in the house can become a multi-billion-dollar business. It could be as easy as laundry, but done with what? Expertise. Don't be GIG motors. You don't call those guys drivers, they don't listen to you. They call them pilots. That guy has revolutionized driving. It's not like a bad. And we're creating a class of people that go there. And they're making millions by the day. Next time you see the GIG vehicle, see everybody's cute, nice, and they just multiply the amount they're paying by number of people. Then think of the number of cars going around north, south, west, east. They know how they're reckoning. No professor can stand that. So life is not just about school. School should actually teach us to be able to do things in life. Not always coming out with one certificate. This is the CV. I took from my youth summer, I'm closing with this. When I got there, after they asked her what is your grade 2 and this was that, when we finished, the woman now got to the real core of the question. She said, what can you do? At that point, most of my youths were down. What can you do? So it's not about certificate. Certificate. Thank you very much. So we see that song and around. It's available. Okay, all right. Crowd clap for her asking questions. I do this a lot in my class. You see, asking questions is not a sign of lack of knowledge. It's actually a quest for more knowledge. So people should ask questions. It's not challenge. Yes, ma'am. You need a mic?
Okay.
You're audible enough.
Yes, I have. My first question is that.
By the way, hold on. Your meeting is so beautiful.
Thank you.
Please come clap for me. Let me finish now. You see,
I said that.
let me from she says that. Aha. So you see, I'm advertising you.
As a journalist.
Wow. I said, beautiful. All right, so let's go.
So I want to ask a question concerning environment. We talked about environmental factors. And there's this scenario or something that happened right now with my neighbor, elder sister, daughter. And when we talk about your environment will affect you, I look at it as an inbuilt something. The environment alone cannot contribute that. For me, that's what I'm saying. This woman is a single mother that brought up her daughter, only daughter that my husband helped in giving her admission. She's in 400 level right now. First semester, they are yet to start their lectures. But what really happened, the mother traveled, and this mother is always quarreling her. Now, this lady, as we're talking, she's in the mortuary. She met a Yahoo boy and he killed her. So, right now they are on it. What really happened? The mother is always aggressive, and this lady is quite intelligent, and the mother they are not communicating. So, what happened if it is because of the mother behavior? What happened to Helen Paul? Helen Paul is still a single mother that brought her, even her grandmother. She's an exposed person. She was brought up in Lagos and she did very well, and now she's a professor. If we are looking at those factors you mentioned, all that, this is what can affect a child. I really want to know more. And then if you look at our Nigerian and abroad people, a 14-year-old child killed his two parents some 3 months or 4 months ago. You heard about it. What really happened? What is happening to our Nigerian people also? That in Nigeria, a 14-year-old boy will not just wake up and kill. That should be the environmental factor, and so I'm confused.
Yeah, I don't know what you say is actually an environmental factor.
Mostly.
It is. Sit down, please. In your whole body, we mentioned we said social media, right? Your emotions are so tweaked, and I talked about these issues are out of social media. Where does a child meet a young boy? What's happening at night? Online. And what are they seeing? They see money being sprayed, right? All kind of cars being driven. Let me give you an example. A boy went to buy a car of 25 million. A boy of about 16, 18. Listen, and the man who sells the car, they actually notified the police. So the police arrived, and the man came, the DPO came with his voice. So the boy was like, what's happening here? They said, where did you get the money from? He told them, please, you want to have an audience with just the DPO. Of course, the DPO said, why not? So they got into a room, and the boy removed his trouser. His male organ was not there. His male organ was not there. So he said, this is what I used to make my money, and I have 4 years to go. The DPO just walked out and said, please sell the car to him and walk away with his voice. No, that girl maybe she needed an iPhone, right? And you talk about aggression. This we talked about. We said talk, right? She lost that child to an dude, and she doesn't know. Maybe that guy listens. In quote, I go to City Martin sometimes. You see those girls saying right. You see some voice just comes. You see some careless voice, and you know that this one cannot earn money. But what is spending is more than what you are. I knew that it's necessarily spending. And you see the way they dress. And you see most times those girls are saying that even giving them more attention than came first. Because they will need to check with them. Because all these are rituals have some kind of some of them have some kind of rules, and you will spend some certain amount of money daily. So
It's still an environmental factor. But the truth is, like we mentioned, an apple does not fall far away from the tree. You know, you cannot exclude a child from the orbits that the child revolves around. It's not possible. So you have a positive influence, but you see, we can always cancel positive and negative. Do you agree? Let me ask you a question. Sorry, those are not mathematicians. If you don't get the answer, I will tell you the answer. Minus 20 plus 5 is what? So instead it does not go to 0. So when the examples that people see, what is ubiquitous is negative. Most often than not, negative will prevail. That's why I say we need blazing what? Examples. So we must shield our children from these hobbies. And how do you do that? They have to remain in your niche. You have to love them. We are not enemies for crying out loud. That's your child. And you want the best for the child. Just imagine this mother was having a honest conversation. Maybe just talking about. You know, the church I mean, okay, there was a movie I watched. This movie. This girl was having a crush on her classmate. And from a Christian home, she just loved this guy. So the mother observed the mood of the child as a son mother. So she opened up the door. So one day we were in the kitchen cooking, and she said, "Is there anything you'd like to tell me?" Very casual. And the girl said, "Mommy, is it wrong to love you?" I said, "No, it's not wrong to love a guy." So she said, "Okay, is there anybody you love?" And he said, "Eh? Is it wrong to what? Hey! Open my do that." Shut down that door. She will go and ask her friends. The friends will say, "It's good, it's okay to love a guy." Be careful. So the mom said, "Who is this guy?" She said, "Oh, my classmate. Just like you." I said, "Okay." So the mother said, "Not wrong, but I have to teach you something." The mother said, "Today, what are we doing?" Let's say we're fasting. The mom said, "But what are we doing now?" She said, we're cooking." So what are we frying? I said, "Are you passing?" She said, "Yes." I said, "Do you like the plantain?" She said, "Are you ready to eat now?" She said, "No." The mom said, "Why?" She said, "Because we are fasting." I gave them. The mom said, "You see, it's not wrong to want to eat plantain or rice, but there's a right time to eat it." And that time is when they said, "It's not wrong to have a friend, but at this point in your life, you have to make sure you avoid distraction, face your that will come at any time and make your choice." So, do you understand? They said yes. Then later in the night, when the daughter was about to sleep, the mother went back to her again and told her soothingly and explained to her much deeper, and she understood. And she went back to school more than the next day. That became thank you very much. Please go ahead.
I have a 21-year-old daughter. I did all those things you were saying. Initially, I was trying to stop them from going out a lot of things. I said, "We'll get married." She said, "From there, did you allow me to go anywhere?" So from that day, you see how she's taller than me. From that day,
And she was as pretty as well.
she's even taller.
Why won't she be married?
So when she was in 100 level, I went, I said, "I've just started to sleep." She said, "Plenty." So I sat in front of the lecture theater. I could not move. I was not aggressive. I used to tell them my love story, everything, how I make it up.
Please, can we clap for her?
I told them how I made it that he was working. It's not about money. It's
not about money, yeah.
It's not about the money, because if you go ahead, the father will give her the money, everything they want. The father says, "I met your father when he was 14. I have only one shirt and one trouser."
Just like
so don't look at the physical appearance. Yeah. So the other day she was on call. You know, in 400 level, they start allowing you to see their whatever they are doing. And I saw a guy with bandana, Igbo guy in which country. I said, "Charlie, who is this that you're talking?" Say, "Mom, you want to talk to him?" "Are you Charlie, Mom? Hi, you're fine. Hi, you're fine." But this one, sorry, you know why I'm asking? This is the only way. After I calmed down, I went to meet my husband. Tying bandana on his head. She saw my reaction. I never told me that it's just afraid. Okay. But I did not believe her. How do I break?
Yeah. Okay.
We cook together. How do I make her confess now?
Now that's our choices. You are laughing. This is a serious issue. You can have crops. You know, you planted, you weeded, you manured, you did all night. Then when you're harvesting, it gets spoiled. So weevils get in there. So this is very serious issue because we must do this all the way. The first thing about it is you must make sure the foundation is strong. If the foundation is strong, you can't expect cracks in the house when the foundation is strong. That is not going to be built anyhow. No. Once the foundation is rock solid, you can be sure that whatever was built on it will stand. That's number one. Then number two, like you mentioned, at this level where she is, this is when the friendship now even begins more. Right? This is when the friendship should be much more intense. Right? This is where you are like, see, madam, these approaches of these friends I mentioned, this marriage thing, you have to do a co-pilot thing too. Don't say he's wearing bandana. This is not me. Do you know somebody can be wearing bandana and it's better than somebody who is see, we must go beyond the facade people wear. See, I mentioned this. I cannot raise my hand on my wife. It's not possible. So if your home is successful, just trust that her home cannot be broken. And then, sorry, me, I'm a faith-based person. Prayer is also very important. Prayer is very, very important. You know? So build our children in line with to be character-driven, not superficially driven by material things. Because these material things are transient. Okay, I tell people, okay, you want to marry a lady that is so cute that looks like a baby doll. What if in the future, as you're driving, there's an accident and that now has a sky here? We know here, okay, how many of you surprised used to have some little altercation with your spouse? Raise your hand. Normal, okay. At that point, do you feel love or hate? Hate. So, see, what gains ultimately is your character trait. It's not how the person looks. So we must push our children beyond the boundaries of the superficial. Because this is with faith. With time, we all wrinkle through of us. Yeah, so it's your character. So, this is the time to develop the girl the more. And then expose her to books. Take her out for seminars. Right? Yeah, let her read things. There's this woman, Christy Bature. She's just on the internet recently. You know? So live together, grow together, watch together, have outings together. Right? Yeah. And then you can also get homes where things are working. Visit such homes. Because practicality has a way of. A couple went to a family. This couple is always fighting. Young couple, always fighting. So they went to visit an elderly couple. When they got there, the man went to the fridge, kitchen drawer to bring glass cups in the tray. The woman went to the fridge to bring it. They were very happy because they were elderly couple. So as the man was coming, the woman had dropped the drink. The cups tipped out from the tray and got on the floor, and then that's how everything shattered. The woman rushed to the scene and started picking up the shattered glass. I was still like, sorry. The woman told us, I'm sorry, I didn't watch my stuff. This couple now, they always fight. So you know something for taking a drink home. When they come from the sat themselves, this had happened to us. You know to see, I'm saying this. That was how the issue was resolved. So sometimes when we don't visit homes, things are working. You know? So because choices are very serious. The woman recently went to the wedding. This woman is very serious with God. But when they were dancing, the guy's hair was splitting. I was shocked. Later I called her. She said, what can I do? But the guy is a medical doctor from the UK and they met each other in the doctor. And when she showed me that all the children, is guys with different hair that are married. But you see, I'm not saying that I'll just marry people have different hair. The truth is, in the end, when these people have true love, or they're just people like, oh, this is going to be a great couple. But tomorrow again, a person was killed by the husband or the wife. Character builds charisma. It's beyond what you see on the surface. You must look into it. And that's why the issue of courtship has to come in. The issue of knowing the person has to come in. As a parent, for instance, that guy, he said, hello, mommy, you can just discuss me. How are you doing? How is work? You know, you ask him a few questions in line with knowing who he is. You can extract a lot of things from what someone is saying.
You don't need to get a whole ocean to your house, small to the ocean. You just need a cup of water from that ocean. And you have to decipher it or take it to a lab test. So create a boundary and ask questions. They will be open to you. But when you close up, they will close up. And it becomes a pretense in the end. So maybe you can see me more later. Thank you very much. So can we sing that song again? Let's sing that song. Very important. Let's have that song of foundation. Can we stand up now, please? Let's stand up. Let's do it now more seriously. I'm mean it from your heart, right? So we say, I'm a change agent. Say, I'm a change agent.
I'm a change agent.
My children are turning out well.
My children are turning out well.
I'm loving my children.
I'm loving my children.
And they are loving me.
And they are loving me.
Let's go. I'm a parent. That's part of it. Okay. Let's include that. Okay, let's go. Let's go. I'm a parent.
We're back. I must say we are very grateful, Dr. Lewis, Professor Lewis. Please, thank you for impactful and insightful presentation. We are well schooled and well learned from this your presentation. I believe I can flip things around. I believe I can flip things around. Right. So I'm a parent in Toddlers and Everest High Academy. We are very grateful. All the time we call you, we say we want this direction. You will say, okay, how am I thinking about this direction? And we'll imagine we'll be having reservations. Then when you come with this perception or with this angle of the problem, it doesn't solve all that we're thinking of. Frankly speaking, me, I've learned so much and I've taken some direction from this section. Most time when we invite these seasoned resource persons here, we give chance that if there is a problem that you really want them to come and look at, we can set up a meeting with you and them so that you will have a session with them. If there are two things I think we mostly believe in. It's either we are Muslims or we are Christians. If you listen carefully to what he's saying, these are in line to the teaching of Christianity and in line with the teaching of Islam. These are the deep aspect of our existence, how we relate, what we do. Some people, I was disagreeing with my vice chair. She was saying it's not true, it's not all the time like it's like that. I want to disagree with her, and maybe since I'm going to start talking, I want to completely disagree with that. I believe that whatsoever we're doing, like he said, charisma and something he says about charisma and character. I believe if you have that character, no matter how deep inside, it will translate to those children. No matter how they are training,
they will change their direction to the better character of the family. So thank you so much. We are very grateful. And thank you, parents, for always making yourself available to listen to this. I will make an appeal. Doctor, I know, Prof, this is for our gift for your professorship title. When the last time we met, you were a doctor. You remember the last session you had with us?
Yeah.
You are a doctor, now you are a prof. It's unlike you. It's not your practice. It's not your thing. We want to have this
It's there.
to the parents.
You can have it.
Please, let's have it. Those that are not here, let them read it. One way or the other, they will get one or two things, because these things are really solving issues that we know we are facing every day. Whether, however we want to ask, these things that you say happens every day in our homes, and we want to get it better and improve on it. So as we are seated, please kindly go through the minutes. I will escort Prof out, and we continue with our meeting from the agenda. Thank you.